Hey there, everyone. This is Samuel Johnson, and welcome back to the Lyoko Retrospectives. And today we're going to be discussing episode 12 of Lyoko, Swarming Attack. And in this episode, we've actually got some character development in this case. What happens is that at the beginning of the episode, while Ulrich is just in his room kind of relaxing, someone slips a note under his door that's apparently a confession. One of those confession letters when confession letters. Pretty much, it says that the person writing the letter has always had feelings for Ulrich, and now they feel like they're ready to share them, and the letter is signed as being from Yumi. As such, Ulrich is just trying to process all of this, and so throughout the episode, he's just kind of distracted. He's kind of being a little awkward around Yumi. He asks her if she's okay. She says she's fine, but just throughout the episode, he doesn't really know how to register it, and it gets to the point where it actually starts affecting him in various activities, like when Ulrich and Jeremy are playing soccer, his mind's just kind of out of the game, and as a result he gets hit in the head with the ball. And even Jeremy and Odd notice that notice that something is up. So he tells them about the letter. He just doesn't say that it was signed from Yumi. He just says he's just trying to figure all this out and just doesn't seem to understand it. And until he does, he doesn't want them spreading it around. As such, while Odd and Jeremy do kind of poke fun at him a little and do speculate on who the letter was from, they don't spread it around. And even when it sounds like the and even when it's not, even when they're speculating and they think that a girl named Emily possibly wrote the letter, and when Yumi asks about it, they say we think that she has feelings for Jim, which in turn causes Emily to punch Odd in the face. But pretty much, Ulrich is just continuing wanting to. But as such, Ulrich keeps trying to come to terms with all this. But in the meantime, XANA once again enacts another plan. In this case, just like with last week, wherein he possessed a single rat and then spread that infection to the other rats to create an entire horde under his control. In this case, he does it again, except this time with hornets. As one flew into a science lab, and as it was under a telescope, XANA came in through the computer, analyzed the hornet, and took possession of it. And from that hornet, it flew off into a hornet's nest and infected the rest of its brood. And well, they just continue multiplying. As such, the hornets actually end up attacking the school, and actually scratch that. First they go after Ulrich as he's out in the nearby forest by the school, just contemplating the letter. But he ends up getting attacked by a few hornets, and as he had Kiwi with him, and they attack Kiwi first. While Ulrich's able to get him away, and the group is able to heal Kiwi's wounds, he does bring up the hornet's nest to the principal so that it can be taken care of. But the exterminator they had to take care of it is overrun and well gets kind of hospitalized. So, as such, but on top, however, as they were attacking, as the exterminator ran out of the forest, the swarm of hornets went right for Jeremy, Odd, and Ulrich, and they managed to run away, but they go after Ulrich. Yumi manages to get Ulrich out of their way, and they both manage to hide, and pretty much the group starts speculating whether XANA is actually responsible for this. They don't know if it is. After all, it probably could have just been a random hornet attack, but it looked like the hornets were going directly for them, so they don't rule it out either. So, as such, Jeremy decides he needs to contact Aelita and do a scan to see if there are any towers activated. In the meantime, though, Ulrich, after the save from Yumi, decides that maybe he actually does kind of share feelings for her, like what's written in the letter, and so he decides to actually talk to her and actually express those feelings. Only when he gets her alone and tries talking and says, "Listen about what you wrote," and tries talking about the letter, saying, "I think I share those feelings as well, and I think I do like you." Though I don't think he says in those words. Yumi's just clueless. She has no idea what he's talking about. Or it gets confused until Sissy and her and her pair of minions, I suppose we can say, are start laughing at him from right behind from behind the back. Yeah, Sissy was the one that wrote the letter, and she intentionally did it, and she intentionally wanted to see what Ulrich would do and just watch him squirm. As such, Ulrich is now justifiably embarrassed and in a huff, as not only was he embarrassed, but it's just kind of like a double, just kind of a double whatever. As it just feels like a double decker of humiliation. As one, he just confessed his feeling. He could have possibly said he got kind of a non-reaction from Yumi as he tried to say that maybe he does have those feelings for her, but she was clueless, and now he just looks like a fool. So it just caused him to leave in a huff, and ultimately kind of shut himself off in his room. In the meantime, though, Jeremy does contact Aelita, and they do do a scan, and they find that the activated tower is in the forest region. So Jeremy tries contacting Odd, Yumi, and Ulrich to go to the factory. Ulrich doesn't pick up because, again, sequestering himself off in his room. So Jeremy and Odd end up going there first. But they find that the entrance to the factory is blocked off by hornets, which again I kind of like this. It's nice forward thinking on XANA's part, as last week he blocked off their path with the army of rats, and this time he's had the hornets build a nest in the sewer entrance to the factory. And while Jeremy and Odd are able to get away from the hornets by dousing themselves in sewer water, as they're sensitive to smell, that's a temporary victory and just got them off. They still have to figure out how to get through that entrance without getting stung to death by these things. As such, Jeremy and Odd meet back up with Yumi, and they go to Ulrich. And while Ulrich is still in a mood, the group is able to get together and go back to the factory. This time, Jeremy having developed a device that emits a high frequency sound pitch that disorients the hornets long enough for the group to get through and into the factory. In the meantime, Aelita has found the factory in the forest region, and wouldn't you know it, it's guarded by hornet monsters. So they end up spotting Aelita and chase her off. But in the meantime, the group is able to get into the factory, and Jeremy is able to virtualize Odd, Ulrich, and Aelita and Yumi, which and of course the first monsters they run into are the hornets. But while Odd and Yumi are doing the best to fend them off, Ulrich's head is still not in the game. He's not doing anything. He's not focusing. As such, while Odd was able to take down one of the hornets, because of its poisons, it causes life points to drop to 0 just as he managed to hit one with a laser arrow. And unfortunately, as Yumi and Aelita are running to try and running it to the tower, my Ben's mixed up. That still leaves 2 more hornets for them to deal with, and in the real world, the hornets that XANA possessed are kind of converging on the school, as now their numbers have grown to the point where they are much more than just are now a much larger swarm of 4, and pretty much any students that are out, and pretty much all students in the area have pretty much sequestered themselves off in the cafeteria, though even that's a temporary solution as the swarm managed to find a way in through the ventilation system. As such, Yumi manages to get through to Ulrich, telling him, "Look, don't let Sissy's letter get to you. We're still friends. We can't let this ruin what we have. We have to work." And they manages to get Ulrich out of his stupor enough so that Yumi and Aelita can run to the tower while he manages to take out one of the hornets. However, Yumi still gets hit by the last one and gets devirtualized as well, but Ulrich manages to take that one out after she gets booted off Lyoko, and so it allows Aelita to get into the tower and deactivate it, causing the hornets in the world to freeze in place as you do, and for time to be reset. And this time, when Sissy tries to prank Ulrich with the message, Ulrich opens the door on her before she can get in, and pretty much he and Yumi just kind of tag team Sissy and make her feel embarrassed for having written the thing. So, on the whole, what do I think about this episode? I think it's nice. I actually kind of like it. For starters, I think this is one of the few episodes. I think it's nice to get some more plot details out in the episode, as And it was, we kind of got a little bit of stuff with Jeremy as he talked about setting up, I guess, kind of the best I can think of is an internet connection to Alita so that she can look up anything. They can look at more details on devirtualization to get her out of Lyoko. But the biggest thing here was the stuff with Ulrich and Yumi. And I actually think it's the best part, and I think it's really nice. We once again, like, for starter, because throughout the episode, it's just this kind of constant drama, and it's not bad. As we see Ulrich, as when Ulrich gets the letter, he doesn't know how to comprehend it, which makes sense. He's a preteen or teenage boy, one of the two. I don't know how old he is, so forgive me. So, and while it's obvious that he and Yumi have some form of a connection between them, they're still at that age when they're still trying to figure that stuff out. They don't know whether they want to stay friends or if they want to move forward with it, or it's just kind of something that they're confused about. Yeah, they have shown interest in each other to the point where like back in the first episode when Ulrich was going to go to the dance with Yumi, but to actually lay down a commitment and say, I have feelings for you and I think I love you, it's a whole other ball game. And as a result, when Ulrich gets the letter, it justifiably sends him into kind of a world. It kind of sends him into a whirlwind. He doesn't know he doesn't know how to respond to it. He knows he cares about Yumi, but in that way, like to that degree, to actually have that out there, or them to actually say it, he doesn't know how to respond to it. But as the episode goes on, he does start opening up more to the idea that he possibly does have those feelings for Yumi, to the point where he finally does try saying something to her, only for it to be shot down. And it actually makes sense, and I kind of understand why he gets the way he does after he learns it was a prank and that Yumi had nothing to do with the letter. Because, yeah, he was working up the nerve, and throughout the whole day, he was just kind of struggling with all this. And so, not only to learn that his feelings aren't returned, or that Yumi's not in the same mindset as him, but to learn that it was a prank that just have all thrown in his face. It's just like anyone would be angry in this case. It's pretty much just taking your sensitive emotion. It's pretty much just taking his emotions and just stomping on them. And it's not even Yumi's fault. She had no idea what was going on. She wasn't aware of the letter. She wasn't aware of it until Ulrich brought it up to her and said something. And as a result, when you see Ulrich she kind of becomes an innocent victim in this case, just because as Ulrich is now uncomfortable around her, is now in a mood, and Sissy's just laughing her head off because of it. Which, yeah, that's a real dick move on Sissy's part. And again, it's not like this isn't the first time she's pulled crap like this. Again, there's the time when she stole Ulrich's diary, and you had to blackmail him into going out with her. That was a dick move. Dick move too. But this is just kind of standard bully fare, and just kind of their bully fare, and yeah, I don't like it. Don't like it at all. Don't like stuff like that. It hurt. It's just, I feel in my mind it's just a little too cruel. It's not like it's the worst thing in humanity, but yeah, taking someone's emotions and just stomping on them for a quick laugh. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And this episode, and I think what makes it better in this case for this drama, because it actually kind of has impact beyond just the main story. Unlike other storylines that have occurred in the series, I think unlike other stuff we've seen throughout this series, this one actually kind of has lasting impact. This one kind of has a reflective impact on the XANA plot as well. As Ulrich, thanks to his emotional distress, doesn't respond to Jeremy's call when he says that XANA's got a plot and they need to meet at the factory. And even then when they do manage to get into Lyoko, because of his feelings towards Yumi, it kind of makes him emotionally distant from everything. He doesn't when the danger arrives, he doesn't react. He doesn't fight back. He's still too emotionally stunted. And as a result, it is affecting his progress in the mission. Now, again, as per usual, it is somewhat resolved by the end, as Yumi managed to give him a talking to, and I would buy that I think it would rouse him back in action, but at the very least, I think there would still be something there, because, again, you can't undo something like that. Because, again, I get, from a time perspective, it has been undone, but from Ulrich and Yumi's perspective, it still happened, and it's not something you can just brush under the rug. Yeah, I can understand him trying to have more, to still kind of have keep those positive feelings still having positive feelings for her. Like, she managed to get him out of his tip and going back into action. But at the very least, I still think that he would have some minor that it would still take him a little bit of time to get back there. Because again, it's now out there. He's actually kind of said something, and while Yumi may not know everything, and while Yumi may not know all the full details, it's actually some nice progress. And the last time we kind of saw progress with them in this case was once again going back to the episode where Sissy stole Ulrich's diary, as Yumi was the one that helped him get it back. And when they reset time, and they already knew, and since they reset time, they were where Ulrich's diary was. It kind of helped in a way show more sides of their relationship. Show that there was more relationship, as one day in that episode he did mention that one day he would be willing to show Yumi what was inside the diary. And in this case though, it's again going something deeper. Again, like I said, he has trying to struggle with the fact that Yumi may be going that may actually have those feelings with Yumi, and by the time he comes to terms with that, it's again revealed to just be a prank. It's nice, and it kind of adds some nice, good tension. It helps, which not only in turn furthers along the idea that they could be in a relationship one day, but also the fact that Ulrich has these feelings, and even if he comes to terms with them, he's got to be careful. He can risk possibly getting hurt. It's why when he learned the whole thing was a prank, he got so emotionally distant from Yumi until she snapped him out of it. It's nice. I like that. It's some good drama, and again, unlike other stories, it actually has an effect on what's going on with the B plot, with the stuff with XANA. I like that. It's some good drama, and I think that's nice. As for the actual stuff, as for the stuff with XANA, it's nice. It's nice. Again, it's like what happened last week, except instead of rats, we have with hornets, and yeah, I don't like hornets either. In fact, they're actually kind of, whereas with rats, you can possibly tame them and have them as pets if they aren't raised in the sewer. There is nothing good about hornets. They provide just nothing, and they don't die. Unlike bees, that when they sting you, they don't die. And in this case, because XANA is infecting a huge swarm of hornets, pretty much this means that that if you're swarmed by them, you could possibly be killed. It's creepy, and it's just creepy. But otherwise, I can't really think of much else in the episode. Again, we got some minor stuff with Jeremy saying he's trying to set up something akin to an internet connection so that he and Ilea can look up more stuff on devirtualization. And another little thing that I like, that's another kind of small thing that I kind of like, something I've noticed as I've been watching these episodes, just kind of the team's cohesion. Like before, Ulrich had the talk with Yumi, as when we had that scene where the group was discussing whether the Hornets were not a XANA plot, and as such, it's actually kind of nice as we see more of their system. Like, they don't throw out the idea that XANA is responsible, but they also throw out the possibility that it probably isn't. As such, they say it could be a XANA plot, but it couldn't. They came right at us, but that could be a coincidence. Well, I'll check and be sure. Again, it's a small thing, but I like that. It's just a nice little group cohesion. They don't throw out the idea that this could be a possible plot, but at the same time they need to check. At the same time, they should check to confirm whether it is or not. That way they can tell if this is just a random swarm that can be dealt with by the proper authorities, or if it's something that they need to deal with. I like that. It's a small thing, but I like it. But otherwise, yeah, I like the episode. The XANA plot I think was nice. I guess something I'm trying to think. Was the pacing bad? No, I think the pacing was fine. Again, the stuff with Ulrich and him trying to come to terms with all this is handled actually rather naturally and progresses rather well as we see him trying to deal with it. It comes to a head rather nicely. The only problem I would have with it is how quickly it's wrapped up, as all Yumi has to do to get him out of his funk is just give him a talking to, and then by the end of the episode, it's just like, oh, it's fine, we're back to being friends. Yeah, I don't like that, but again, the stuff going through that and leading up to it, it's handled well. It's handled well. It's got some nice emotional weight. It's paced nicely. It comes to a head rather well. It does create some sufficient drama, especially when it actually does interfere with their plot, with what's going on in Lyoko. Yeah, on the whole, it's a nice episode. I like it. The stuff with XANA, nice. It has more plot progression for the main characters, so yeah. On the whole, it's a good episode. So yeah. That's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I'm Samuel Johnson, and I'll see you next week. Take care.